Hey everyone, it's Anna. Welcome back to my channel and thank you so much for visiting. I'm coming on this afternoon to share the January release with you from Impression Obsession and their new products that are being released into their everyday line. There are going to be new stamps, dies, paper, and stencils released. So stay tuned and let's take a look at some of the products that I requested and the samples that I made. So first up, I wanted to remind you some of the samples that you're going to see from me. I used some of my watercolor swatches, and this is just a great way to utilize some of the fun paint swatches that you've been making. If you're like me and you sit down and you just like playing with your watercolors, and you end up creating a bunch of different swatches that you don't know what to do with, you're going to see cards and things that I made utilizing some of these swatches that I've made in the past. So last month I did the same thing, and actually here are the cards that I made featuring those swatches or the watercolor backgrounds that I've made just on previous days, just playing with watercolors. So I was able to pull them out and actually put them to use. And then here's another one as well. So don't forget about any of those cute little swatches that you've been making. You can pull those out and make some cards with them. So the cards that have these images on them, this was a stamp set that released last month, and there is actually a companion set releasing this month that has similar art and imagery on it as well. So kind of handy that these were sitting right here by my desk. But just don't forget to utilize some of these beautiful swatches that you've been making. They will make perfect card bases and tag bases as well. Isn't that one pretty? I love that one. So all right, so we've got lots of stamps, dies, paper, and stencils being released. So let me go ahead and share the products with you, and then I'll share my samples. And keep in mind too, I don't request the whole release be sent to me. I don't have time to make that many samples. So I'll put a link down below to the Impression Obsession website where you can find all of the products being released. And then I'll also put a link to my blog down below where I'm participating in a 3-day hop showcasing products from the release. And there will be other designers participating as well. And there will be links to their channels where you can see the products that they're utilizing and then the samples that they've made. So I don't want you to feel like you're missing out on something just because I'm not sharing it here with you. So be sure to check out the website and the blogs. So first up is a couple of cover a card stamps from Jeannie. This one is called Woven Circles, and it's a really beautifully detailed stamp that Jeannie has created. I don't have any samples with this one today, but I do know that there are others who did use this stamp and made some really nice samples with it. So check those out below. This one's called Woven Circles. And then this is another one from Jeannie called Flower Pattern. And I do have samples with this one today. These are both 5 3/4 inch square, so they are part of the Cover a Card line through Impression Obsession. So really big, beautiful red rubber stamps. So I love these. And then also, I do have one of the paper pads that's being released this month from Dina. She did another series of Pooh images, and Tigger released into the public domain. So she has some images with Tigger and Eeyore, I believe, as well. So I didn't request all the products, but I did request this paper pad. And so it has really cute images. You can see I've utilized some of that one. I do like this text sheet here. I love paper that has text on it. So that one was a draw for me as well. And then here's one with cute Pooh on there. And then here's another sheet that has some text on it. There's some small images, stripe, some wind trails, basically, or bee. You could use them as bee trails. And in one of the limited edition sets that Impression Obsession released a couple years ago, there was a stamp that had this same art in it. So that's a nice companion to that stamp set if you have it. Here's one, a really pretty blue with some Pooh bears tossed around on it. And then here's one with Tigger, and that must be Tigger's hidey hole. And there's some honey pots, and then there's that black again, and then the general scene. So it starts repeating. So, but there are, oh, there's other stuff in here that I didn't share, probably because I utilized it already. I tore the page out and used it. Let's see, there was a really pretty blue, this one, a really pretty blue, like a marble with some text on it. And I think that's it. Yeah. So there are 4 of each 12 designs. So there's the front of that for you. So fun paper. There are also is a new Piglet stamp being released. And let me share this set with you. This is super cute. There's a whole series of the little Winnie the Pooh sets released, and this is, I think, the only one maybe I requested. This one is called Piglet Mini, and I just really liked the sentiments on here. Piglet was always one of my favorite Pooh characters, so I'm really drawn to the sets that have him in it. Bless your dear little heart, and then every little thing is going to be all right, and then many thanks, which I have a kind of a clever little sample there to show you using that stamp set. And then let's see, I'm just try and set this stuff off to the side here. All right, so here's another set that's being released. Actually, I think this one may have been released last month, but I used it on a sample this month. This is called Sending Hugs, and this was one of Nola's sets, but I'm pretty sure this released in December. Then there is this set being released. This is the one that has the companion art to the set that released last month. So, for example, here's one of the cards that released last month with that cute cup. And then there was also the image of the feet and the warm winter wishes sentiment. And then this gal sitting here as well. So that was from last month's. This month has the gal sitting next to a stack of books. And then there's a gal sitting with her feet out, like maybe on a coffee table or something. And then there's a hand with the cup, and then a really cute clear cup with some coffee beans, and then fun sentiments in here as well. Let's get together, warm wishes, winter was made for hot coffee, warm blankets, and large books, coffee and friends, the perfect blend, and then finally, happiness is a cup of coffee and a good book. So I really had fun making samples with this particular set. And then let's see. There's another stamp and coordinating die set being released. This one is called Bean Thinking, like coffee bean, so Bean Thinking. And the stamp set and dies are sold separately, but here is the stamp set. So it's a bunch of fun little coffee-themed icon images. And then you can do it, and I've been thinking of you, a couple sentiments on there. And then it does have coordinating dies that are available, but they are sold separately. So I have a sample or two to share with you on those. And then let's see, there are also a whole bunch of stencils being released this month. And they're all different types of layering stencils or frame stencils. So there will be a solid piece that fits into a frame, and then there's a series of like 4 different sizes in each package. And then some of them have different a specialty cut edge along the side here. So for example, this one has this fun little scallop or inverted scallop. The next one has the pinking. If you can see the little zigzags in there, like the pinking sheer cut. So they all have a specialty edge, but these are the ovals. And you can see I've used one of the ovals here. Oh, it looks like they actually might have 2 specialty edges in them, or more even. Look, there's even more. What do you know? Let's see. All right, so here's the oval set. So it comes with 4 overall sheets, and then the oval or whatever shape for the series is cut out of the center. So you get 4 different sizes of those. And then they are embossed with the placement of an A2 card so that you can center the die cut piece on an A2 card front. So here's an example of an A2 card. I can center this using these little etched, I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but there's an etched line. There you can kind of see it. That is where the edges of an A2 card would go. So now you know that that oval is centered on your card front. So that's kind of a handy little thing. And they all have that etched line. Here you can kind of see it because it has ink caught in it. There. And then it looks like they have, they all have a specialty edge. So you get 4 specialty edges in each packet. So these are all scallops or inverted scallops on that edge there. So that's kind of fun. News to me. I hadn't noticed that before, that all of them had it. So that's nice. So you get 4 different sizes in each. And that one slipped behind there, but this might be a better way to show you. It's like my first day. Total rookie here. So I did use the oval on one of my samples, so you'll see that. So there we go. We have rectangles. with the same concept, with each of them having a section cut out of the center and each of them having the placement of the A2 card, and then each of them having a decorative edge. There we go. Cool. And there are, let's just flip these over. Circles. Honeycomb. Oh, that's not releasing this month. Oh my God, I am such a rookie. Circles. Oh, dog paws, that's not releasing this month. Anna, you're fired. What is releasing this month? Circles, squares. This one is, this one isn't, this one is. I'm fired. Okay. Rectangles. Seriously, ovals. Circles. More circles. This one says it matches a die. I wonder if this one is not being released. Holy crap. Circles, windows, and squares. Grab your stencils today. All right, so let's take a look at some of the dies that are being released, shall we? So first up, I have a new alphabet releasing. This is just called Capital Alphabet, and it's a block style letter, and each letter is about 3/4, about 7/8 of, no, yeah, about 7/8 of an inch in height, I think. Yeah, 7/8 of an inch in height, not quite an inch. And then I have a set here called Numbers also being released, and these are about 1.75 inches in height. And it's a nice, handwritten font for the numbers. And then the block style letters is just a block style font. And then I also have some jumbo pink stitched sentiment banners releasing. You know, I love, love, love this die set in the small size. And just to give you an example of, here's one of these smaller dies. So you can see how the smaller size compares to the larger size. So this one is truly jumbo and has been super fun to use. And it is the width of an A2 card front. So you can see edge to edge, the banner goes across the front of a vertical A2 card size. So that's been fun to use. And then Impression Obsession is releasing these hands. And there's lots of cute samples made using those. And then I have these primitive hearts, this little series releasing as well. So those are cute. And there's some extra fun stitching on these as well. So that is those 3 sets. And then this set released last month, but I did make a sample here and utilize it, so I wanted to remind you of it. This is the primitive heart set that has this 2 layers of hearts and a button. And then this is my eyelet primitive heart set, which was a previous release. And I used this smaller heart here to layer behind this heart. So I used those 2. And then I used this tag. This is a previously released tag, and it's just one of my stitched tags. And it comes with this little piece up here that you can use to decorate the top. And it comes with this sentiment banner that you can use to go across the bottom of the tag like this, or you can use it this way as well. And this is a really fun tag to use with critter dies because it fits really nicely with them, and it makes them look like they are holding a kind of a sentiment banner, if you will. You can like put the deer behind here, or the pig, or the frog. So it works really well with the critter dies. And then I also used my eyelets circles, scalloped eyelet circles, scalloped circles. I think it's just called scalloped circles, not eyelet. But it's just this series of scallops and regular circle dies. So I used that. And then I used my trims set, which this is one of my favorite dies as well. This is like a little piece of rickrack that has stitching down the center. So I did use that on a sample or 2. And then actually here is the dies for my original pink stitched sentiment banners. And so I'll just show you again the size comparison of those to the new jumbo size, because I know lots of you have these sentiment banners, and so I thought having a larger size to work with would be really fun to have. So there you can see how the original ones compare to the new jumbo size. So fun, fun. I love that. And then here is what the inserts look like for the sentiment banners, the original ones, and then this is the insert banner for the trims there. So, but fun die sets to have and use. So those are my new dies that are being released, but there's one more. And that is, I have a bear die being released, and it's called Big Hugs Bear. And it comes with the bear's belly. He has 2 arms, and the arms have little details on him for his toes. And then it comes with his body, and it comes with his nose, his ear inserts, and his paw pads. So like the palms of his pads here. And the nose is included in the little muzzle here. So also when you get the die, I think your die is going to be solid. Mine was a prototype, but I think your die is going to be solid, and it's going to have the placement of 2 eyes, which have 2 cute little winking wink lines or smile lines by his eyes. So your die is going to look a little bit different than mine. And then you'll also get, of course, these pieces here, which will be, you'll be able to die cut the nose and add it to his face, and you'll be able to die cut these 2 pieces separate, or 3 pieces separately as well. So just keep that in mind. My die looks a little different than the one you'll actually get. I had to do some alterations. Mine had the eyes here, but they had a big bar that went across here to hold the eyes in place. And so I had to kind of saw that off of there. So hopefully I'll get the new die shortly, and I can share that with you. So, all right, let's start taking a look at samples, because that really is why we're here, isn't it? Let's start with the mini piglet set that I shared with you. This is a sample that I made with it, and I just wanted to keep this really clean and simple by using Piglet here, and he's colored with colored pencils. Many thanks is the sentiment from that set, and then here's, you can see where I used that piece of rickrack. And this, oh, this was actually my taco die. I thought that was a cute little half circle there to use, but you could use any circle and cut it in half. This one I think was actually in just my little collection of extra die cuts that I hadn't used, so I pulled it out to use there. But cute little clean and simple card. And then here's a sample made using that Been Thinking set, where the stamps and dies are the coffee themed icons. So I just stamped and die cut 3 of the images in the set there, and then added them to the front of this card. Here you can see the sentiment that I used, and then this is the largest of the 3 sentiment banners from the jumbo set. So you can see how it fits across the card when the card is a horizontal card. If this was a vertical card, this banner would go, it would go edge to edge here. So, but I think that card turned out fun, and I just stamped the images and watercolored them, and you can see how fun they look when they're nice and watercolored. So there's that sample for you. And then here is one where I used the hands that Impression Obsession is releasing, and my 2 hearts from last month, or the heart from last month and then the previous heart, I guess. And then this sentiment here is from the mini piglet set. And then here in the background you can see where I have inked that oval, and that's using that oval die set, where I was able to position the paper behind and then just ink the cardstock then through the cutout oval in that stencil. I think I said die, I meant stencil. This card I used Jeannie's flower pattern, cover card, the hands, and then that Been Thinking stamp and die set there to create this sample. So I like how the background there of Jeannie's stamp, I stamped it, and I inked the stamp, misted it with water, and then stamped it, and that's how it got kind of that watercolory look to it. So fun, fun. Of course, everything got a good spritz of glitter. And then here's another sample made with Jeannie's flower pattern die, stamp. I keep saying die, stamp. And here you can really tell how I spritzed the stamp with water after I inked it, and it gave that really pretty, almost like a batik look. This is one of the new jumbo sentiment banners as well. And again, if this sentiment banner was across the card this way, it would go edge to edge. But here you can see what it looks like on a horizontal card. And then, of course, Piglet's cute little tiny hiney there, and then the sentiment from that Piglet set too. So fun, fun. Here's some samples I made using the set where the gal is holding her coffee. Let's see, what was that called? The Coffee and Books set. And this is all, these are the samples that I also use some of the Pooh paper on as well. So this first one here I did in a blue and greenish yellow theme. This is paper from that Pooh 6x6, and so is the blue here. And then I watercolored the image with my watercolors. And I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but on the spines of the book here, on the edges of the book, not the spines, the pages of the book, I painted them gold like you would see on fancy books. And then the card also has a really pretty spritz of glitter. So a really quick and easy card to make. And then here is another one using the set, different image. Happiness is a cup of coffee and a good book. So I think these cards lend themselves to watercoloring really, really beautifully. So I love that. And again, I use that same paper, the blue and the greenish yellow from that Pooh pad, Winnie the Pooh pad. Here's one I made using one of my watercolor swatch play sheets. I was just playing with lots of different rainbow style colors. And I thought that made a pretty background for this card. So you can see they're all very much the same. Even on the edges of the pages here, I also painted those with glitter watercolor paint. That's kind of fun. And then here's another one I made using one of my swatch cards. And so I just painted the image so that it would coordinate with the swatch card. So that was easy enough to do. Find something in my little stash of swatches and then paint my image to coordinate. And then the last sample I made with that set is this one here, and I stamped the image twice. This is the image from the stamp set, so I stamped it here, and then I flipped it around and stamped it over here, so it looks like I have two friends side by side here, or across from each other, enjoying coffee. So, and then another one of my watercolored backgrounds. So I had fun making samples with that set. I love the loose watercolor style that those stamps lend themselves to. All right. Let's see. I think that's it for those samples. Now, I think the last thing I have to share with you are the samples that I made using my bear set. And so let's take a look at those. So first up is this cutie of a card. This is a vertical fold card, and the bear is right up front and center there wishing great big hugs. And this is why that sentiment set from NOLA came in so handy, because it was all about hugs. So that's the set from last month that I'm using there. But I think it turned out really cute. And here you can see where I used my scallop circle, the largest circle in that scallop die set. And I did use a piece of foliage from the winter foliage die set. And then this is a sentiment banner from one of my other tag dies, but any little fishtail banner would work there. And then just a piece of lace, and then just a strip of cardstock here. And then I did splatter him with watercolor paint too. So I think he turned out so cute. I love him. And then the way that the die set is made, you can actually use his arms going upright, or you can actually place his arms going down to the sides. So you can see here the difference is his arms go up or his arms go down. And depending on which way you place them on the card, of course, determines that. And here you can see how I've got his little paw pads showing. But keep in mind, if you wanted to have him holding something, which I'll show you a sample of, you wouldn't want to use those paw pads. Like if you wanted to wrap his arms around in his belly, you wouldn't want to use the paw pads. So that's why I wanted to have those as a separate die, because otherwise you'd be looking at the back of his paws and not the front of his paws. So here's the second card here, and this is just a scallop circle that I had in my my stash of pre-cut die cuts. I think that's probably a Spellbinders die, but here you can see where I use the trim, and these are just torn music paper from my stash, and this white piece here was just a strip of cardstock that I had in my stash, my scrap bin, and I just cut the end of it off at an angle instead of leaving it straight. And then I gave him a splash of watercolor. Here I'm using the new capital alphabets to create I and U, and then this is the second size of the hearts. There's one size bigger than this one, I think. Let me double check. Oh, I think I lied. I think it's the biggest one. Nope, it's the biggest one in the set. So I think he is so cute. I love him. Love him, love him. And then the last sample that I have to share with you today, and probably my favorite, is this one here. And it utilizes that older tag, previously released tag base that I showed you. And it is also a symmetrical tag, so I was able to die cut it twice, one out of the shimmer paper and one out of this craft cardstock. And then I was able to adhere them back to back so that both sides are a nice looking die cut. So this is another one of my symmetrical tags. And then I used one of the older Impression Obsession stamps on the back there. But then also on the front, I utilized the jumbo sentiment banners, and I did cut it and extend it out just a little bit, so it's not quite this long in real life. This is extended just a smidge. Let's see if I can show you. So I wanted it to stick out just a bit more from my project. So you can see here, if I do the edge to edge, you can see that the one I have on my project is just ever so slightly longer. And that's just was my personal preference on this particular project. So it's cut right behind his leg, and then I just pulled this piece out just a hair more. And then here you can see how his arms are folded in, holding that Milky Way mini, thanks, get it? And you'll see that you don't see his paw pads because I didn't add them. These would be the back sides of his paws instead of the front side of his paws. But I was able to utilize the same paw dies just by placing them on the card upside down and then folding them so that the good side of the die is facing your viewer, basically. So I think he is so cute. I love his little happy furry face, and I think he's going to be so fun holding all different kinds of things. And then in the background here, you can't really see it all that well, but he is actually wearing a scarf, and the scarf that he's wearing is from the snowman accessories die set. So all the snowman accessories fit him as well. Just like last month where the snowman accessories fit that bear, the Cocoa Bear, the accessories also fit him. So keep that in mind if you have those dies available to you. So those are the samples that I have to share with you today and the new products that are being released. This video is a bit of a hot mess. I am not a professional. It's just me here. So anyway, I hope you love the new products as much as I do. I had so much fun making the samples, and I know that I'm going to continue to get so much use out of this cute guy and all the stamps and dies that are being released this month. So thank you so much for watching. Please check below for the links to the store and to the blog where other designers are showcasing their samples, and just enjoy the inspiration. Thanks for watching, everyone, and I will talk to you again very soon. Bye!